The caravan is larger than it was when you left. Seems the troop members you rescued found their way back safely. The young man you rescued races over the moment he sees you. I found my way back. Thank you so much for saving me. He beams. The ringmaster is next in line, peppering you with praise as he wrenches your entire arm up and down in a forceful handshake. He proudly and he absolutely insists you see the show. He's certain you'll love it. Finding yourself looking forward to the circus, you decide to invite Legol and Polka to come along, but they're nowhere to be found. It looks like they took off on their own. Thinking it would be much more fun to go see the circus together, you decide to look for the pair. You find Polka holding a cup with some kind of golden liquid in it. A gentle-looking woman seems to be teaching him something. The woman whips the monster and roars with laughter. This little fellow sees this as a reward. Polka nods along. Aha, I see. This is most instructive. You're not completely sure what you're looking at. You decide to drag Polka away and take him to the show. You find Legol stuffing some kind of well-cooked meat into his mouth. Beside him is the beast tamer girl. When she notices you, she begins to thank you enthusiastically in crude language. However, your features harden when you see her looking lovingly at her monster partner. Seeing this, Legol asks, "You need something?" You invite Legol to come to the show and step away. You can hear the sounds of a lively crowd coming from the circus tent. The show must be about to begin. Stepping into the tent is akin to entering another universe. Clowns balance atop balls. Jugglers juggle objects with ease. Performers soar through the air on the trapeze. Your first circus show is infinitely more impressive than all the images you'd conjured in your head. Unfortunately, you also find yourself too vexed to fully enjoy it. You cannot stop thinking about the girl making nice with that monster. The young boy makes a show of stopping his ball directly in front of you and holds something out to you. "Which one of these do you like best?" he asks with a wink. You point at the ring, but the boy simply keeps smiling at you. He makes no effort to hand it over. The boy points to his own round nose. You stare intently at his nose, but nothing happens. He then points to his hand. You look down at your own hands and what? A beautiful ring has already found its way onto your finger. The boy sticks out his tongue, playfully mocking you. You cannot help but gaze at the prize that so wondrously found its way into your possession. The beast tamer is the next performer to take the stage. It seems she's going to put on some sort of monster show, as you'd expect. Though this time, she's joined not just by the rat, but other foul creatures. And just like that, the goodwill engendered by the young boy's gift evaporates, and your heart hardens anew. The beast tamer, however, has no idea that you harbor such simmering resentment, and begins her show. Or she tries to, but one of the beasts begins raging out of control. "Help!" the ringmaster shouts in a panic. You instinctively grip your weapon and leap out of your seat to confront the monster. Get up! The monster is nearly dead. You prepare to strike the killing blow, only for the beast tamer to leap between you and your prey. You unleash your fury upon the girl as she protects the monster. Polka's eyes widen as she easily parries your attack. "Listen, story," she says, hugging you so tightly you can hardly move. The beast tamer tells you it was her fault the beast went berserk. She accidentally trod on its tail as she issued her command. It wasn't the monster's fault, she says. Tears well up in her eyes. It was her own inexperience. She begins to sob. The ringmaster peels her off you and gives you his heartfelt thanks for once again saving the circus. "Allow me to introduce you. This is Trollus," he says. He follows up the introduction with yet another unexpected request. He wants Trollus to accompany you so she can further develop her skills. Apparently, the idea came to him as soon as he saw your masterful command of the beast in battle. Trollus, trembling, turns her gaze to you. You hesitate. "That's a fantastic idea," bellows Polka, agreeing in your stead. The ghoul turns to Trollus. We're all talking around you. Is this what you want? Trollus thinks for a moment. Yes, train, she chirps, nodding emphatically. Sensing no way to push back against the overwhelming force of Polka and the ringmaster, you agree to take Trollus along. She breathes frantically through her nose. Do best, she says eagerly. This is shaping up to be a fun journey, Polka says, visibly excited. Polka has apparently invited himself to join your crew. Legol starts to say something, but Polka is already so deep into a speech that he loses the will. We must celebrate the start of Trollus's training, the ringmaster shouts. Not a moment later, everything and everyone, the various performers jostle you about as they rush up to wish you the best and tell you to take good care of Trollus. As the dust settles, the performers settle to sleep wherever there happens to be space. You stealthily pack your belongings. You have to get out of here. This monster-loving circus just rubs you the wrong way. You reach out to wake Legol, to tell him you both should get out of. I'm awake, he whispers. You look more closely and see he too has packed his things. He must have known how you felt all along. The two of you agree to sneak out of the circus. You approach the exit to find Polka standing there, as though he were waiting for you. This is sure to be awkward. He approaches you. Can I tell you something? He asks, in a far more measured tone than you've ever heard from him. He begins to recount the story of his parents. They too studied monsters. One day, when Polka was very young, monsters attacked his village, killing his parents. His mother raced to get him to safety. She told him to run and began shouting, "The monsters, there." That was when the flames took her. Polka tells you that he began studying monsters in the hopes of one day understanding what she was trying to say. He lowers his head and confesses that he needs your help in order to do so. You sub-Terrans have the power I need to solve this mystery. I know it. You search his face. He's being sincere. You nod. Polka is no longer just someone you met, or just some scholar. He's you, an orphan. You tell Polka you'll help him once he answers one question. Does he hate monsters? Hatred reduces the mind's capacity for serious inquiry, he notes, his smile exposing gritted teeth. So, he's suppressing his hatred of them beneath a veneer of reason and logic. That'll do. Already leave? comes another voice. Your chatter must have woken Trollis. Her strength will serve us well. We should bring her with us, Polka adds, sensing your reluctance. Serve well, Trollis parrots, sweeping you off your feet. Thus were your defenses eroded and your ranks bolstered. You depart the circus with your new companions. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot. Somehow, your group finds themselves wandering in the desert yet again. You had no problem with letting Polka lead the way, but the sand skiff soon sailed headlong into quicksand and met with disaster. No use crying over spilt milk. Don't want to waste even a drop of moisture out here, after all, Polka quips, holding a water canteen over his mouth and tapping it. You say in a flat tone, I don't get it. For perhaps the first time ever in your acquaintance, Polka refuses to elaborate. Don't make me explain it. Despite the rest of the group wasting away under the heat and grappling with brutal thirst, Trollis seems to have maintained some vigor. Trollis's nose twitches as she sniffs at the air a bit. She picks up the scent of water to the north and heads off in that direction. The others are splayed out on the deck of the sand skiff, barely moving. Things may take a dark turn if Trollis doesn't hurry. A musty smell wafts from the rocky area beyond. Maybe there could be some water there. No sooner does the thought cross Trollus's mind than a monster attacks from the shadows. The rush of victory over the monster is short-lived, as there doesn't seem to be any water nearby. Muttering, "Water," Trollus stares at the defeated creature. The beast does seem to have a great deal of, well, liquid. With a great squelchy squeeze, Trollus wrings the fluid out of the creature's body. Trollus returns to the sand skiff and helps everyone drink some of the slime juice. Each, in turn, regains their vitality. The juice is faintly sweet and tasty. Polka asks, "Where'd you come by this stuff?" However, Trollus's reply leaves something to be desired. "Squeezed it. Everyone drank. Everyone better." Polka inclines his head, deep in thought. But fruit is rare and hard to come by. The group decides to have Trollus lead them to where she located the sweet liquid. The group arrives at the place where Trollus obtained the liquid, but there seems to be nothing there. Did Trollus bring all of it back in one trip? As you mull your thoughts, Polka suddenly points. Look there. You take a closer look and see that there are cracks running through the rocks. They just might break open if hit with enough force. Legol grunts in affirmation and then starts hitting the rocks. Over and over again he pounds on them until blood oozes from his fist and flecks of it splatter the stones. With a cracking sound, the rocks break apart. You can continue on. Beyond the rocks, a barren waste stretches out before you. The party decides to press on through the arid expanse in hopes of finding a place to rest and eat. You've come across a river that is somehow fully ablaze. There won't be any drinking this water. Polka's curiosity is piqued. He shouts, "But water cannot burn. It defies scientific reason." Next to him, Trollus's nose twitches. She's evidently located something with her keen sense of smell. There might be food nearby. The party opts to trust in Trollus's nose and heads off in the direction she indicates. Oh! A masterful victory! You arrive in a city humming with life and bustle. There! Trollis practically falls over with excitement as she whips her hand out to point at the food stall. The stall is stacked high with fresh grilled meats, which are by all accounts the source of the smell she noticed. It's not just only at the food stall, but throughout the city that people seem to make a living using fire. Perhaps that is why the place is sweltering. Polka cannot hold back his curiosity. "I must inquire as to this comburant water," he says, zipping away. In fact, he zips off quickly enough that you and the others lose sight of him. Shrugging your shoulders, you decide to head off in search of him. The woman is lost in thought as she gazes at the flames from a distance. Love and fire are rather similar, aren't they? You find her incomparable presence so overwhelming that you are unable to even ask about Polka. Heat, heat, heat. He who has the heat controls everything. Heat is everything, the man shouts. This city is hot enough as it is, but the man radiates fervor, making it all the hotter. You ask the man about Polka, and he replies in an encouraging tone. You'll find him, you will. It is essential that you never give up. The young man is mumbling something. Listening carefully, you put the snatches of audible words together. It sounds as though he is unhappy about the local aristocrat. Apparently, said aristocrat is monopolizing the tinder water supply and reaping massive profits from it. You ask the lad about Polka, and he answers quickly, he ran off toward the pet shop. You ask the stall owner if they've seen a bespectacled young man, but they shake their head and say that there have been no customers of that description. You locate Polka in a state of considerable excitement as he observes a burning pond. He notices you a moment later and starts chattering rapidly. This town is incredible. They use this combustible water as an energy source to make their living. And what's more, he goes on without taking a breath. It doesn't sound like his rambles are anywhere close to finished. But then, suddenly, the sound of children weeping reaches your ears. It sounds like it's coming from a back alley. It's 50,000 gold pieces for the night, a voice snips as you enter the inn. Your jaw drops. Oh, I'm only kidding. My other business brings in so much coin, I let people stay for free, the innkeeper says, laughing heartily. You figure it's best not to argue, and resolve to stay the night on the innkeeper's largesse. You're pretty good, the boy beams, placing a commemorative prize in your hand.